Thank you for your time. Where are you from?
United States, from Washington, D.C.
Okay. Is it first time to come to Japan?
Yes, it's my first time. It's my first time in Asia, actually.
Asia.
Mhm.
Okay. You've been to other foreign countries except of Asia.
Yes, I think this is my 27th country.
Wow. You travel a lot.
Yeah, a lot, but like I said, not to Asia, so this is new for me.
Okay. So do you usually travel to?
Most of the countries I've been to were in Europe. The closest I've been to here was New Zealand.
Mm-hmm.
For Africa, I've only been to Morocco, so still quite a lot left on the list, you know.
Okay. Interesting. What was impression of Japan?
It's very clean. People are very polite. I will. It's been quite hot as I've been here. Hot, yes, and people definitely still cover up. I think the fabrics are a little breezier, but when it's hot in the U.S., it's little clothes, you know.
Okay. Crop top and stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
You don't see that, like revealing clothes in Japan.
Not so much, and it is very hot and very humid, especially for September.
Okay. So you mentioned some of your impression in Japan, but today's main topic is what was your highlight in Japan? So on this trip, what was your highlight?
We did take a day trip to Nikko, and we were only there for the day, so it was very brief. But that was the only time we really spent, aside from visiting city gardens and things, that was the only time we spent kind of getting out into a more rural Japanese area that has a little bit more nature focus. And I think that was the most special for me because it has the mountains in the background, which is really beautiful, a lot of waterfalls. And even as you're walking to the shrines and everything, because it is so humid here, I have a bit of a plant interest, and there's a lot of moss growing, a lot of plants that in the US will grow inside, kind of growing in the wild there, which was really beautiful. And I think I mentioned this to you, but we do have dragonflies in the US, but here in Japan they're a lot bigger.
Bigger?
And they're bigger, yeah.
Okay.
And from my impression at least, and they're more colorful, I think.
Okay.
And just a lot more, that's really interesting to me. They look really different. And in Nikko there were a ton of them. So I really liked that, just kind of being out in nature was really cool.
Okay, so entire nature in Nikko was beautiful.
Although Tokyo's been really fun too. I mean, Harajuku is really fun, and I'm not that tall, so I can buy clothes here very easily.
So is it like hard to find the clothes in the US?
Yes, the pants, especially. I bought these here actually, and I didn't have to get them hemmed. And I'm 5'1", so that's a little harder to find in the US.
Okay. Lastly, what do you want to say to people who are considering to come to Japan?
I would say absolutely do it. It's phenomenal here. Respect the locals and the culture, walk on the right side of the street. Don't be in a rush. Don't talk loudly on the metro, things like that. And plan to buy a lot of souvenirs. We brought an empty suitcase and we filled it. So
What did you fill with?
Oh my gosh, a lot from Kyoto. Like I said, we bought like a lot of ceramics and a kokeshi doll and
Kokeshi?
Okay. Exactly, yeah, and like things for my nieces and nephews for the kids, little cloth purses and things like that for them. We bought so much, I don't know.
Okay.
There's so many beautiful things here.
What was the most expensive one you got here?
For me, I didn't spend I spent like the equivalent of $75 on a maneki neko.
Okay.
The maneki neko
Maneki
cats.
neko,
Yeah.
Maneki neko, like, is it famous? Like, did you know Maneki neko before coming here?
I did. I came with the intention of buying one. I love them. I think it's kind of niche. I think in the US, if you live in a lot of US cities, there's usually a Chinatown. And so a lot of times you'll see them there. So that's kind of how I got one in the first place. And then in doing research, realized they were from Japan. And I figured if I'm coming, I would buy one. So I just think they're cute.
Okay, there are some like Japanese stuff in Chinatown.
Yeah, it's very blended.
Okay, I see. Interesting. So it was very nice to talk with you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I appreciated it. Thanks for your time.
Thank you for your time. Where are you from?
I'm from Switzerland.
Are you visiting or living here?
I am visiting.
Is it first time to come to Japan?
Yeah, it is.
So first I want to ask about is what brought you to Japan?
Mainly, I wanted to discover the culture, and also since I was a child, I really was into anime. So it's a bit cliche, but this is kind of what brought me here. So kind of discovering everything that I liked since I was a child and see it for myself, and discovering also the people and all of that. Yeah.
Okay. So actually coming to the place you have longed for coming to.
Yeah.
What was impression?
Honestly, from what I heard, I had this impression before coming here that people would be a bit like on the colder side, maybe a bit more closed off. But actually, it was a real shock to see that not at all. Everyone is so friendly, even towards foreigners. I had no bad experiences. Everyone is really kind, is coming to help us if we have anything to ask. So honestly, I'm really, really happy to had like false impression at the beginning. Yeah.
So you mentioned some impression about people. So could you share some like story like you felt that way?
I mean, first of all, we were struggling to find a line on the metro lines, and someone just randomly came up to us and was like, in English, was like, "Can I help you?" and everything. And I found that very, very nice of her. And she stayed with us. We had like 15 minutes of train ride together, and she continued just asking us questions, being super friendly. Another time in a cafe, I needed the password for the Wi-Fi, and then it didn't work, but the person there was like really trying to help us. So really, everyone is trying to help us out. So I find that very, very nice. So yeah, everyone comes up to us. So yeah, it's really, really nice.
That's nice. So I'm finally getting into the main topic today.
Yeah.
So today, as a main topic, I ask people about highlight of the trip. So probably like each person has their own highlight. For you, what was your highlight of this trip?
I mean, since I've only been here for 3 days, it's a bit hard because I hope I'm going to have even more highlights than what I had. But I would say it was Shimokitazawa. Because I only knew about it because of the thrifting. Yeah, like vintage stores and everything. And at the end of the day, there were so many like cool cafes and bars and like little nooks. Just really a lot of really nice places just to discover. And the neighborhood is really, really nice. I didn't think I would love it so much because I also went to Harajuku and other places. And it's gotten a bit more, I don't know, there's a lot of people who just want to sell and buy stuff and that's it. But in Shimokitazawa, it's a bit more lively and people are just a bit more, I don't know, it's less stressful since maybe it's a bit less touristy. I guess the vibe is different. I loved it, yeah.
You felt more like heartful, warmful.
Yeah, very just like, I don't know, I love the vibe there.
Have you been interested in Japanese fashion before coming here?
Yeah, since I was maybe a teen, I started looking through Fruits magazine and stuff like that, Harajuku fashion magazine. And also with Lolita and alternative fashion and everything. And now that I grew up a bit, I only wear it from time to time at my local community.
Also, you kind of belong to some Lolita community in Switzerland?
In each country, there are different communities, and in Switzerland we also have a Lolita community, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
They have like some events or something?
We do some meetups, we do like picnics, or just like we go to museums together, we do some activities, yeah.
Okay.
And we also have a Harajuku, like we took the Harajuku fashion walk and we did like a small one.
In Switzerland?
Yeah, but we kept the Harajuku because if not it doesn't make sense, but yeah.
So, like most of them are interested in Japanese fashion in the community.
I would say, yeah, if you are into Lolita, yeah, it would be. But also to anime, cosplay, and all of that, yeah. I think it's kind of, when you are into one thing, you kind of go into everything else.
Everything about Japan.
Yeah.
So it was very nice to talk with you. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for your time. Where are you from?
Melbourne, Australia.
Australia.
Sydney, Australia.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Are you visiting here together?
Yes, we
Yes. 3 to 4 weeks.
3 to 4 weeks. Okay. So what brought you to Japan firstly?
My love of Japan stems from my previous work with a Japanese company and my visits for work back then, and I started to like the country and I wanted to see more of the country.
So you used to work for a Japanese company?
Big Japanese company,
Mhm.
and I travelled here for work several times in the past few years, and I got to like it, like the culture, the people, the food, so I wanted to experience more.
Okay. Is it secret? Which company?
Same company that makes your equipment, camera equipment.
Funny.
That's right.
Okay.
I've been to Japan once before. I liked the country so much, I decided to come back again
Mm-hmm.
for a holiday. So my previous visit was for work, again, training, and I decided that one day I'll come back in the hope to do lots of activities in Japan.
Okay. Today's main topic is what is your highlight of this trip in Japan? So could you share highlight here?
Okay, highlight, given this is the first part of our trip together. Here in Tokyo, the highlight is every time I come here, I try to do something different. More recently, we went to a baseball game
Baseball game.
at the Tokyo Dome. That was
Giant.
a new experience for us. A very enjoyable experience.
Yes.
Our country's not big with baseball, but it's something different, and it was something different for us to experience. We had a good time.
What was the impression of the game, entire people and so on?
Well behaved.
Yes.
Very well behaved.
Okay.
Very well organised compared to sporting events in our country. So yeah, that was impressive to see.
We enjoyed every moment. It was very entertaining. And I'm glad I bought the hat before the team won the game.
So you became the Giants fan.
I'm now a Tokyo Giants fan.
That's right.
Member.
So is behavior of fans on the sports game different in your country?
Much different. Yes.
Definitely.
For example, how?
Definitely. Well, I think the only way to describe it is they have a bit more respect. And,
Here?
yeah,
Yes.
a bit more respect for one another, and that's also reflected in the crowds. It was interesting to see the supporters of both teams. They're not aggressive to one another. They actually take it in turns. One supports, one stays quiet. They finish, and the other one start to chant and support. It's very
manner.
unusual. Yeah, so it's a very unusual but very well-mannered crowd. So it's a different experience, definitely. So far, Tokyo Dome experience is the highlight. But our trip has only just started, so there's more to come.
Okay. What's plan in this trip?
The plan is to go to Suzuka for the Formula One. I've never been to Formula One
Grand Prix.
so this will be my first experience, and I'm looking forward to that. Also looking forward to visiting Hiroshima, which I've never visited before.
Okay.
So maybe if you ask me this question at the end of the trip, my highlight will be quite different. It may be multiple highlights, not just one.
A lot of events you are looking for.
It's
Yes.
a fascinating country. There's a lot to see, and the more I see, the more I'm fascinated by it, the more I'm interested by it, and the more I want to come back again, and more places, different places, definitely.
It was very nice to talk with you. Thank you so much.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
ご視聴ありがとうございました。いかがだったでしょうか？動画のご感想やテーマのご要望などコメント欄で教えていただけますと幸いです。たくさんのコメントお待ちしております。チャンネル登録の際は通知ボタンもお忘れなく。